Okay, hello. So welcome to this trade recap video that I want to do. As you can see on the screen, I already have I have quite the trade on the screen, and usually people say, oh, did you check the trade, or this was just hindsight analysis. So you also have proof here that okay, the trade was taken. So I'm going to be walking you through the whole logic, why the trade, why did I take the trade, why did I go long, and what was the reason behind it, right? So to do that, I'm just going to take out all of this price, all of this, whatever we have here on the screen. So just a sec, I'm going to leave that in place. Okay, so let's take this out. All right, so I've taken almost everything, right? Yeah, taking almost everything. Okay, so I've taken all of that out. So let's take this to the trade setup. Actually started for Friday. So today I'm doing this review on Tuesday morning. So let me just take that back there. So here we are Monday, and then Friday at around, let's say 5:30 or 6:15 a.m. Cool. So let's take that there. Okay, so this was where we're at, on the Friday. And then this was basically the price action, so this was what we had. Now I also have this actually on the trading floor. I did share this, so let me just pull that up. So I shared the analysis on the trading floor. I shared this with the the exclusive channel. So I have this here. Sorry for the switch between the dark themed and the light themed interface. Okay, so this, I think Friday was 20th. So here we were. So you can see here, basically this was the structure here on Friday. I shared this, and also on the 15 minutes I shared this. The market structure is clearly bullish on the 15 minutes. Ideally I would want to see a bullish continuation chalk before going long. Okay, so this was the commentary from Friday. Now you put that side by side with what we have here, so you can see it was literally the same structure, right? So let's just draw out what we have here. So here we already had, this was like I'm just going to use, so that was like a boss to the upside, and then price after taking this high returned, and then respected the low, the previous low that was registered by the candle, and then pull back up, and then we're coming into the new day of Friday, and price was around this area. So with that in mind, I'm going to take this, I'm just going to draw this across. All right, it's a large candle, but I'm just going to draw this part of the candle. Now also another thing is, you can see here that price, this candle swept all of these lows before pushing higher, so that gives us a liquidity zone, right? So now price was coming here, so it's a simple, well, I would say simple right now, right? So depending on your level of your knowledge or your confidence in the market, on also executing trades, this would differ, but yeah. Now clearly we can see that our next target, because the market is bullish, our next target is going to be this area. Okay, and someone's going to say, oh, okay, how did you just do that? How did you just assume that this is going to be the next area? There's actually a reasoning behind that. Let's go to the 4-hour and let's look at what we have on the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour here, you can see here clearly that we have, this was the low that was that got taken out, and then we had a new low, and then this low now led to this high being taken out, right? So now clearly we can see that the 4-hour has changed from bearish to bullish, right? It was bearish here, but now the low has taken out the previous high, and now it's bullish. And then after that, what has now happened? The 4-hour has returned, has pulled back. Okay, here we have this zone has been mitigated. I believe drawing all of these things you know how to do already, so let me not dwell too long there. Okay, so with that, we know that the next high to be taken out after price has changed from bearish to bullish, the next high to be taken out is this area here. So whatever we're doing, we're not looking for shorts, because we know on the higher time frame that the market is now bullish, and all we're interested in is catching longs that will take us to this area, right? So that's all we're interested in, so no shorts. So with this in mind, our bias is rightly placed. So we're not looking for shorts. We cannot be caught on the wrong side of the market. We're only interested in longs, and then that's what we're looking for. Okay, so that is that. So the 4-hour has settled that. So let's go now to the 50 minutes. So with that mindset on the 15 minutes, we cannot see this and then we're saying, oh, I want to short from here. I want to short from here to where? It doesn't make sense because it's not in consonant with the higher time frame. The higher time frame tells us that the market is buying, right? It's a bullish structure, so we're only interested in looking for longs. So what I had said, on this day, you can see here the structure here. What I had said was I was waiting for a bullish confirmation, right? A bullish, chalk, and then that would allow me to now position myself to take, the long. So even though I knew that this was the target, I did not just say, okay, it's already London open, I'll just place an entry here and then just do that. Even though I could do that, because if I put my stop loss below this area, I could just do that, right? But I may not necessarily get the kind of entry I'm looking for. So I was waiting I wanted to see a bullish stroke, and then that would tell me the market's really, is ready to go, and then I can position my entry. So let's see how all of that played out. So 6:15, 7 a.m. So you can see, so 7:15 a.m. you can see the market pulled deeper into this zone, and now we have something here. Let's see this low here, so I can draw this. You can see that's a sweep. This low got swept, and then what I had said was I was looking for a bullish chalk, and then if maybe this high gets taken out, then I'll place my entry and target this high here. So that was it. So let's see. So here we go. Okay, so this was my confirmation now. The price was now ready to go. So with this, I now placed an entry here, and my stop loss was below the sweep zone. So you could see, if I just placed here, that would have been okay, because I could have actually placed something like this, and that would be like 11 pips, but that could have also been much. Anyways, but so with this, I now placed my stop loss below here, and I was able to extract 1 to 8. Okay, so you can see the entry was around 5693. You can see the street here, 5693. So let's see, what do we have here? 5693. 5693 was around here. Yes, so this was it. And then my stop loss, okay, I don't have that on the chart, but I think my stop loss, anyways, I targeted the 1 to 8. So let's see, 1 to 8.5. So my stop loss was likely, let's see what it was, I think maybe 5.5 or something, because it's 8.5. Yeah, I think, let's see, yes, so it was 5.5 pips, around 5.5 pips, just below this area. That's what my stop loss was. So with this, I now knew that the market was now ready to push higher. Now, there are a few things I need to point out here. A few things could have happened, right? The market could have just moved without me getting an entry, and that would have been painful, right? And then that would have probably made me, think, oh, I could have just, entered here, and then just because I already knew where the market was headed to in terms of structure and all of that, I had a sweep zone, I had a lot of confirmation for me to take longs, but I was just wanting to look for another additional confirmation, okay, before I considered longs, and that worked out. So let's see how that worked out. So during the London session, we did not get an entry. I did not get an entry, but my pending buy limit was still, in place. It was around 1:30 during New York session. The market returned, gave us an entry. I remember that clearly, of course. And that was it. So this was it. So you can see this is where, we now got an entry around 1:15 p.m. UTC plus 1 time. And that was when we got an entry from Friday. So now, because I knew this was my target, so that was it. I wasn't bothered about looking for additional entries, just allow the trade to play. So, well, it took a while because it did all through Friday until Monday. So you could see price was just playing around. The market closed on Friday, and then Sunday the market opened, and what happened next? Price, returned almost to the point of entry. Now let me explain something here, because this is where a lot of times, new traders also miss it. If you don't have confidence or clarity on where price is headed to, you're going to become fidgety, you're going to become jittery, and you wouldn't have the patience to be able to wait for your setups to play out. The market doesn't usually move in a linear, you're not just going to have something like that. Oh, the market comes, taps you in, and then boom, it goes. The market does that sometimes, but it's not all the time. So if you don't have confidence in your setup, you can see this type of price action here. This is if you're someone who is stuck on the chart, and then you're not really going about living your life, doing other things. You can't just get lost, or just get triggered, or just get uncomfortable, or just affect your psychology by looking at price like this, because you see the money is going in your direction, it comes back, it goes, comes back, goes, comes back, and then again a new week, you've left a trade since Friday, and then you've come into a new week and the market is coming back. That's what you're gonna do. A lot of people are gonna get fidgety, and they're gonna sell off, or you're gonna take off your positions, and just all sorts sorts of things, or maybe even move your stop loss to around this area and then you get stopped out. You have to be confident, on your trade setup for you to really make it. Anyways, enough of that. That's part of psychology. Okay, so here we go. So this was now Monday, 5 a.m. So now I did not take this morning trade because I always want to see that whatever position I have in the market, I want to see it play out first before I consider adding or stacking positions. But there was also a setup here, and I'm going to show you that. So of course saw this, but of course did not take it. So you could see here another sweep of the low. Do you see this? Just the market repeating itself again and again. What do you see here? Can you see the similarity between this guy here and this? Can you see this? Perfect similarity. Okay, and this is another thing about time and price. When time meets price, that's always the best time to enter the market. So this was London open. You can see this was London open on Friday, and we had that momentum that came into the market, time and price, and then that gave us the pattern we needed to go long. And now we're coming to Monday and we're getting the same thing again, time and price. Okay, well, that's another thing, but that's bonus for you. Okay, so now what are we expecting? So with this sweep of of this low, I'm expecting this high to now get taken, and then we can now go long. Okay, so let's see how this works out. Okay, there we go, and that was it. So you can see that now this candle here essentially took out this high, right? After the sweep of this low, the high got taken out. So with this was a nice area to enter, but I did not take this trade like I mentioned because I had an open trade and I also wanted to just stack my positions when the first one is here to play out. So this was a good one, and also the same target like this. So that's a good 1 to 5 thereabout, right? Depending on what you want to extract from the market, but that's a good one. So this was the trade, the second trade. Watched it but did not do anything. And that was it. So you could see laid out nice. Now this was something that you can see this came close to hitting our TP, but then started reversing. But because we know where price is likely headed to on the 4-hour, let me just go back there. This is super important because when you have clarity on what you're looking forward to, you don't get fidgety about nothing. You can see the price is even yet to get to our target, our 4-hour target here. So there's no reason to be afraid, right? If your analysis is correct, if you know what you're doing, then you just have confidence in your analysis and allow the market to play out. Okay, so with all of this price action, on the lower time frame, it meant nothing because we know that on the higher time frame, we've not even gotten close to where we're supposed to get to. And by the way, let me just make that visible here. So let's make this 4-hour target here visible on the 15 minutes so we can also see that and also use that accordingly. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so nice. Now look at this. So you can see this is where the 4-hour target is. Now a question you're gonna say, okay, if you knew that this was where price was headed to, why did you not target this area? And that will be a very valid question, and I'll explain shortly. And also here, why did you not target this area? I'm also going to explain shortly. Now, when it comes to trading, you need to understand your risk appetite and also your psychology. If you're not someone who is at that level where maybe you have a lot of you've made a lot of money and then you can afford to swing, I would just advise you, hey, simply you just need to be conservative in your targets, right? Even though this is a swing target and we've identified that on the 4-hour that that's where price is headed to, if your psychology is not yet robust, right, you may just be hurting yourself trying to catch swing, trades. Instead of doing that, why not just stick to catching, your immediate conservative, highs on the 15 minutes. So this is the immediate high. We target that. We look for another entry. We target the next 15 minutes high, and then you continue to build like that. And there will be times, of course, where the market will give you an opportunity to swing. Maybe you've already made a lot of money already from that trend, and then you just need to just follow the trend and then just swing it. It could happen, but it would come with experience, right? So I wouldn't advise anyone who is just starting out to begin to swing trades. Just be conservative in your targets, okay? And this is a good way to be conservative. Anyways, that's that. So what we know that on the 4-hour, we're expecting this high to get run over, and based on the market structure and all that I've spoken about earlier. So yeah, so let's see how this played out. So this is London session had come to a close. New York session was coming on board, and then now, and that was it. So this was basically when our trade from Friday hit and that was it. Okay, so this trade played out during London session. I did not take this trade because I already had an open trade, but then we also had another entry which I'm going to show you now shortly. So here we go. So that was it. So our target was now hit. So 1 to 8.5 banked, and that was it. Okay, so you can see this was the trade. As I can show, I'm showing you here. So yeah, so the trade was taken. It's not just you know, hindsight analysis and all of that. Okay, so let's analyze what we now have. Okay, let me just move that out of the way. So here you can see now London session has played out. What do we expect next? Well, we expect that New York is going to give us another entry. So look at what we have here, and I'm going to explain this. Now, another thing, by the way, I love doing, I love drawing, you know, the pattern of the market. So this actually drew it. Let me see if I'm going to get that and show you. What's this? So basically the roundup. I'm going to show you the roundup, so you can see what I mean. So you can see this was the trade. So this was it. So you can see this was a trade that played out. You can see how it played out. You can see the pattern here. This was our, you know, our last high. So we drew that was our target. So we knew where price was headed to. Now, time and price. London opened on Friday. So we had that structure where we had that sweep, like I explained earlier, and then we had the chalk, you know, and all of that. Whether you use this or use this, it really doesn't matter. So we have the chalk, the bullish chalk, and that confirmed the price was now ready to target this high. And then we waited during the New York session. Price returned, tagged us in, and then, you know, moved away, and then, you know, did all whatever it did, you know, and then eventually we got our target hit. You can see all of the analysis, you know, was right there. So 1 to 8.5, you know, was banked from this trade. Okay, so drawing these patterns allows me to kind of view the market, you know, clearly without, you know, the noise of the candles, buy and sell candles at the end of the day. Okay, so that's that. So now going to New York session, we also now have something new here, as you can see, and I'm going to show you how this trade, you know, played out. So here, well, you can see that has already been mitigated, so I can just leave that there. Okay, then we had this POI here on the 15 minutes. I'm also going to show you that I also gave you know, this analysis, by the way. So now with New York session coming on board, it's either price continues to push higher or we get that pullback and then another nice entry to continue, you know, the trend. So with this, we also have here this candle here. This is also a nice area, right, for price to also return to and react to, and then we get a continuation. Now the question would now be, will price react to this zone or this zone? And that will be a very valid question. And the answer to that is that I don't know. But what I do know is that I can simply just expect patterns to play out and trade those patterns. Now, looking at this, you can see here that we had this continuation chalk, and then price returned, swept the lows, gave us this low, and then, you know, pulled back again, and then gave us a continuation, you know, chalk. Now, novice traders will just say, okay, based on this price action, I'm just going to put my entry around here. My stop below this area, and I'm going to target this high. But what you don't realize is, of course, this is not even a nice target. 1 to 2, I of course go for usually more than that. So, but what you don't realize is that price, using this price action, price could just use this low here as inducement, you know, for this area below this area, right? So typically what I'll usually do is I would have one entry here. Okay, I'll have one entry here like this. Okay, using this area, this candle here has inducement for, you know, this area here. So I'll have one entry here and also another one here just in case I get run over. This is what I would typically do. Okay, and yeah, and then target the immediate high again. Or now, if you've banked opportunity, if you've banked this, you can now swing. Okay, because you now know where the market is headed to. All right, so but this is it. So this basically, you know, we mark that as a very nice inducement for price to induce, you know, novice traders, and then, you know, get an entry before it continues to the upside. Okay, and also I'm going to show you, I also did give analysis about this during New York session from yesterday. So you can see, where's that? Yeah, so you can see here from the New York session, market structure is clearly bullish on the news. This is a good area to consider long. So you can see that that was there, right? So yeah, so let's see, okay, so that was it, right? So with this now, nice opportunity to long, okay, and target the 4-hour high, because after all, there's nothing to lose right now, right? So let's see. Okay, and that was it. So 2:30 p.m. UTC +1. That was it, the entry. And then you can see price just went ahead and did this thing and hit clear 1 to 10, and that was it. So nice trade setup, nice entry, and nice everything. At the end of the day, what you're going to learn from all of this is patience to wait for your trade setups, because without waiting for your trade setup, that's where a lot of traders miss it. You take trades that are outside your setups, and then when the right ones play out, you're simply just covering losses instead of you making money on your trades. So this was it. So I also do have here, trying to put this here, but I'm just going to play this out for you. But you can see this was a trade. Actually did record it live while it was playing out. You can see that. So, but yeah, I'm going to put that also on the video for you to enjoy. So this is essentially the trade recap. If also, of course, you want to join the Stock in Profit mentorship, you have a 10% off. By the way, just check the chart. You can use Level Up and you get 10% off. But also, if you want to join the Discord channel, there's a free area where you can get access. But if you join the full mentorship, you get access to everything. So yeah, so this is it, and this is a recap of the trade. I hope you've actually learned a thing or two from this. So hey, it's been a pleasure sharing with you. Stay Stock in Profit, and see you some other time. Bye-bye. Cheers.